recording. Hello, my friends and fellow seekers. Welcome to ChakraTouch Wednesday edition. I'm still not liking the lighting, but I'm just going to trust that it's okay. I love these colorful buildings too. They are very, very pretty. I'm not liking my lighting at all. What's going on, camera? Whatever. Whatever. We're here to have fun, not be perfect, right? Oh, yes. That would be the eye doctor. Yeah. That's funny, Melinda. Are you needing an eye appointment? Hopefully not. Hello, who else is here today? Kiana. Hello, dear one. Nice to see you. Very cool. Who else is here today? Who do we got? My aura is so light today. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. It didn't feel very light last night, but I feel lighter today. I woke up with a fascinating insight, and that I'm really not liking my lighting today. I'm sorry, guys. It's very distracting. Oh, it's too bright, isn't it? My goodness gracious. Oh, well. We will live with it. When I turn it off, no, then it go, really? Yes, thank you, Melinda. I don't like it off. Really, Deb? I think the video comes out better. I don't know. I'll have to test it some more. I look so dull looking. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Distracted by the lighting. Everything just seems so bright differently today. Whatever. Now you're gonna okay. Hetty, I make you responsible for that. It does not look good to me. I don't like how the videos look after this, but it's good right now. Okay, we'll just roll with it. Anyways, what was I saying when I became self-conscious about the lighting? Oh yeah, last night was a rough night. So for those who aren't familiar with me, one my current life experience is an elderly woman that I've lived with for 12 years. I've helped take care of her and her husband before he passed, which he passed a couple years ago. She's recently been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer of the pancreas, which has spread to the liver and to some of her bones. So they're giving her 6 months. And of course, because of the mystery of death, none of us know when we're going to die exactly. And a doctor's prognosis doesn't necessarily mean 6 months. But I'm basically, because we're so close and I love her and we're good friends, I'm right there in the death and dying process with her. So last night I was feeling pretty sad, a little scared, but I was also really feeling thankful because I appreciate everything she's done for me for the last 12 years. I don't think I would be here today had she not taken me in. I had nowhere to live when my mom passed in 2012. And she and her husband took me in, and we've ended up having a great 12 years. It's funny because I was thinking about the 12-year cycles. I don't know if anybody's heard about different like year cycles and stuff. In the Chinese astrology, uh, the signs are on a 12-year cycle. So this is currently the year of the wood dragon. It just started at the beginning of the month on February 10th. And we have dragon. It's the year of the dragon every 12 years. In this particular case, wood dragon, the actual combination of the element and the dragon, has not occurred for 60 years. I happen to be a wood dragon, so my birthday's coming up this weekend on Sunday, and I'm actually having a live. So you're all invited. We're gonna have a little birthday party, ChakraTouch live. Anywho, so I'm just sort of really flowing with the emotions of this news. It's sad, but it's also really kind of exciting for me in a certain way because I've been wanting to find where I want to call home and where I want to move to. And I've been wanting that for about 10, 12 years. And so now life is sort of shifting and changing so that I have to not have to, but so that, basically my path is now looking into that more. And it's both exciting and scary. And then, of course, the loss of my friend eventually. But you know what? We're all dying. So at some point, everybody dies. So there's a lot of sort of practical realism going on in my heart, and then also those just real sad, heavy moments. And then when my mind gets in trouble, and I start worrying and getting scared of the future, then the fear comes up. So, hey, Joanne, good morning to you. And hello, Sonia. Nice to see you here too. Yeah, so this morning I woke up. I went to bed really early last night and I attended Susan Sage's live. She's a dear, dear heart and a dear friend of mine, but definitely a soul sister. Lots of similar spiritual experiences between the two of us. And and it was just really lovely and very soothing. And I ended up having a really good night's rest, right? And I woke up this morning and I was thinking, you know, in a lot of ways, this process, the grief process, is about, I'm not just kind of grieving the scenario with my friend's cancer, but I'm also kind of grieving the end of this 12-year period. I've been with her for 12 years. We've had a lot of fun, teased each other, helped each other. It's really brought me to where I am today. Had I not had a safe and loving home to live in, I don't know that I would have like felt comfortable and ready to really explore ChakraTouch and start offering it on Insight Timer. So in a lot of ways, there's this old me that I'm letting go of, and I realize, oh, well, this is cool because I'm letting go of this, of who I was and who I currently am, in order to allow in who my future self really, and to really allow that future self to shine more fully, because that's what I really want. I want to flourish. That's like my big theme going forward. So yeah, it's just for today I have more of the curious adventurers, the sort of the curious spiritual adventurers mindset. And this is just life, my friends. This is just how things unfold, and death and loss and grief are just part of it sometimes. And so, even though I'm not a surfer, I did pick waves today, and I often talk about surfing the waves of emotions. So, hi, Linda. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, we have a choice. I think this is the main point. We have a choice of how we want to walk with any emotion, really. Grief is a tough one. Loss is a tough one. I'm not unfamiliar to loss prior to this. Um, but it really comes down to how we choose to move through it, right? And move with it. And my choice on a daily basis is to feel everything. Like, I don't want to suppress or stuff or numb any of these feelings, because for me, they're all beautiful. They're all part of my spiritual growth, and they're all teaching me something. If I can be present and allowing with them, then I learned something. Like this morning, I learned about how I'm letting go. I'm letting go of this old concept of me. Like, I've been living in here, sitting at this desk for the most part for 12 years, right? In the near or semi-near future, I'm going to be sitting somewhere else. I might be on a different computer. I'm going to be sitting in a different environment, maybe even in a different country, live streaming with you guys, and I will be living a whole new me. I will be living a whole new experience. That kind of thought gets me excited. Unfortunately, I'm having to also walk through, not having, but I am also walking through the experience of grief and the eventual, death of my dear friend. It's just life. Like, we really have this choice of we constantly have the choice of how we want to look at our situations and scenarios, because our situations and scenarios do not define us, right? We define us. For me, emotions as a Pisces is a really important thing. It's my primary filter. Emotions and intuition are my truths. That's not true for everybody else. For some people, their primary filter is the way they think about things. Sometimes the primary filter for somebody is kind of the gut, responding from the gut, or how they physically process things. I have friends who can't sit and meditate, or I have had friends who can't sit and meditate. They can't sit in a chair or sit in whatever and actually meditate. Their own form of meditation is they have to move their body. So they have to dance, they have to run, they have to exercise. And that is how they calm their mind and still their mind. Anything's great. So I just kind of like talked about a whole bunch of stuff there. Yes, Sherry, there's richness in every moment as long as we embrace it and allow it. And I'm still slightly distracted by my lighting, but Hetty says it's great. What are you guys saying today? There's Joanne. Yes, I said hello. Okay, good. Wow, wow. What are you wowing, Sonia and Melinda? Sending so much love about your friend. Okay, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. You love her? You love my friend Melinda? That's great. Yeah, she's been super wonderful to me. She's also a Pisces, so we get along, but she's a March Pisces. March Pisces can be a little bit more mental than February Pisces. Oh, what else you got said? Hello, Sherry. Welcome to you. Oh, there's no such thing as late in my lives, dear. No worries about that. Thank you, Linda, for saying you can feel my emotions. You're welcome. Let's see. Richness in every moment. Hello, Jeanette. Oh, I haven't seen you at one of my lives in ages. Hello, my dear friend of the beautiful winter Manitoba Canadian descriptions and stuff. I swear you're going to write a great story someday. Linda, your daughter's birthday is tomorrow. I love that. We will celebrate. Hello, Gary, good friend. Hello. Isn't it a beautiful background, Sonia? Guess where it's from? Oh, Melinda, yeah, the 60-year cycle. Yeah, I don't always think about cycles. I really do. My face feels really grainy today. Without the light, the autofocus is really having trouble. Sorry, guys. I know you said it was better, but when I look in videos, it looks just horrible. So, anywho, there. Now I feel better. Yeah, cycles are fascinating. Like I don't always pay attention to them. But like oh, now it's too bright because I'm moving around. Yeah, the 12 years is really, really fascinating. And then to just for me, what was so fascinating wasn't so much that it was um about the actual cycle, but when I look at that, I've literally been with my friend here um for 12 years. Like at the end of March, it'll be exactly 12 years that I've been with her because 12 years ago, my mama died. And that's also the cycle of the dragon years, right? And that was my last big life change. When I really think about it, I was already homeless in LA, Los Angeles. Um, like even more stuff hit the fan and I was about to have nowhere to go. I came home to be with my dying mom who was already in hospice, and that was January of 2012. And then I moved in here in March when my mama passed. And that time period, the 2, 3 months there was my last big major life change. Everything has been fairly, I mean, there's been lots of little changes, whatever, but in terms of when we think about life changes, right? Deaths, marriages, divorces, moving, just the big stuff, right? And so now my friend, has been prognosed to die, and I'm fully entertaining and opening myself up to exploring moving finally, which is something that I've always wanted to do. So yeah, the cycles is just really fascinating. You think it's better without the light? Oh well, we'll just leave it. Anywho, that's enough about me. I just blabbed for 16 minutes. Oh, but you know how much I love sharing with you guys, and I hope that you found it useful. Is anyone new today? Normally, I don't just sit there and talk for a bit. We usually get right into readings. Yeah, you too, Sherry. So many big changes for her in the last 12 to 14 years. Yeah, it's fascinating, the different cycles. Anyway, hi. Are you new? Please say hello, where you're from. What we do here is something that I call ChakraTouch. That's a gift that was given to me, and I pass it on to others. My gift specifically is that I tap into people's chakras, whoever is getting a reading, an energy reading. I tap into their chakras and I just listen and I witness and I observe. And eventually their energy starts to show me the quality of their movement. It begins to show me images, visuals, colors, sounds, and I start to describe that to the participant. And then together, I work with them to coach them on how to use that energy to whatever resolution that energy is wanting in the moment. It's very present, it's very loving. I talk a lot about love and allowing, and it functions very similar to, tarot readings, except I don't do anything predictive. I work with how the energy is purely in the moment. Did I mention my name? I did mention my name, I think. Greg Phillips. Nice to meet you if you're new. Anywho, who would like to get on the list for a journey today? I feel like chat is really slow. The spinny wheel. Yes, Melinda wants the spin. I use a wheel, so I don't go in order for anyone who's new. I use a spin the wheel app, and it lets the universe decide who gets to go. Gary, are you raising your hand? Is that what you're saying? Yes. And Deb. Anita, okay. Joanne. So just in case anyone's wondering, I'm not 100% sure where my background came from, but I typed in Tenerife, which is one of the islands in the Canary Islands. And this is one of the videos that was under that category. Yes, Sonia. Hetty, okay. Sherry, I already got you, dear. You're number 2. Sonia, are you raising your hand? Or you're just commenting? It's good to see you, Sonia. Did you get my big message? Preferably number 11, Kiana. Well, we'll need 3 more names to get you there, but I'll put you in at 11 if you want. Is that your number, dear? I love that. That's so sweet. Who wants to be 8, 9, or 10? Who wants to be 8, 9, or 10? Otherwise, I'll just take them out because Kiana wants 11. I think that's super cool and really cute. There's my spinner. Linda says, I've been reflecting back to my amazing reading with me. I've never visualized so vividly. You're the best. All. Thanks, Linda. Okay, Gary, just come back when you can. All right, you know what? In honor of Kiana's request, we're just removing 8, 9, and 10. Look at how flexible we could be, right? We'll just add more numbers on later. Kim, you want to be number 8? All right. You're new from down under. Fantastic. Welcome here today. I hope you have a lovely experience. Does anyone want 9 or 10 or 12 or 13 or 14 or 15? Oh, you're making me crack up, Kiana. I love it. All right. I'm going to put some music on. Talk about not being fully prepared, but you know what? A lot of my theme is about going with the flow, isn't it? So we are just going to continue to go with the flow because why resist life? Why fight it? Why fight the flow? Kiana, you're not causing inconvenience. Ah, Gary, you're gonna have to fight Kiana for that. And no fighting in my chats, okay? Thank you. All right, everybody, we are spinning. I've removed 9 and 10. And I need to remove 15, 14, 13, and 12. Kiana stands alone at 11. Oh, before we spin, let's play our intuition game. So, whether you are sitting, lying down, or walking, do your best to feel into a part of your body that is touching the earth or the furniture that you are upon. Close your eyes. If it helps, place your hands right on your heart chakra in the center so that you are activating your heart center, and feel deeply into your heart and listen very, very carefully to your beautiful inner voice and allow it to bubble up, and listen as it says shuffle or sort, and put the word in the chat. Carol wanted 9. 9 works for you, Carol. No problem there. Thank you. Melinda, are you being the loving assistant today, making sure I keep on track with the chat? I appreciate it. That's 3 sorts. Shuffle has 0. Sort has 3. Shuffle has 1. Just listen into that voice. What's it say? If nothing comes up, then you're okay with either one. 2 for shuffle, 3 for sort. So far in playing this game, I have not had to be the tiebreaker. Either is fine with Kiana, so yeah, you're good either way. All right, last call for shuffle or sort. Good, we're staying sorted. That's SORTED, not SORDID. Hopefully we're never sorted in my chats. Our first winner is number 3, Mr. Gary. See, you didn't need 11, buddy. We might have lost him while he's walking, though. You want me to wing it? All righty. Are you still walking, Gary, or is your body settled somewhere for the moment? Sorry, guys, just so obsessed about the... All right, we're going to wing it. Pick a chakra for me, buddy. My intuition went to your throat, so I guess we'll start there. Gary, are you letting your heart express itself? No, we're not skipping you. Gary, I'm tapping into your throat chakra, and all I'm feeling is a small, sad, whimpering, sort of semi-crying, not exactly crying voice. I know you've been going through a lot lately. Have you found any ways to express your grief or your sadness over the loss of your puppy dog? You're such a big heart, Gary. Yeah, you've really, really, lately, yes, okay. I'm not feeling anything good or bad. Like, as I always say, this energy just is. We just work with the energy of the moment. But there is a very soft and quiet quality to this, and a smallness to this uh mildly crying. It's not sobbing, but it's just sort of mildly crying, slightly teary voice in your throat. Hmm. I don't know why, and this is the beauty of this work and really any channeling, but I know you have a lot of love in your heart, and you have a huge, huge heart space. And the message I'm getting, really the question, are you taking care of yourself? Yes, I imagine so. Grief is very, as I know, grief is very challenging. It's an interesting journey sometimes. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you, the question is coming through because I'm sensing how much love you have for other people and that you are a really deep giver. And the question is coming up also sort of in tandem with, are you giving enough to yourself? So tell me about that. So let's take a look at that. You probably haven't or you haven't, which like where are you hmm. Gary, I don't know what position you're in physically, but I just want you to close your eyes for a moment if you can. If you're walking, just find a comfortable place to stop for a moment and make sure that you're grounded, feet feeling the earth if you're still walking. And I just want you to drop deeply into your heart, my friend. You have a massive heart space. There's room for a lot of love. Your heart is like a vast canyon in the wilderness. And there's canyons of so many different types. I remember traveling in the US Southwest and visiting different canyons, and that they always blew me away. There was one where you would travel in to, this is Mount Zion National Park. You would travel in with the river at the bottom, and the canyon would just sort of appear. And then when you went hiking, you were hiking up. And then at Bryce Canyon, you would travel into the top, and you'd park your car there, and then you would hike down into it. And yeah, you have a hard time giving yourself love. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes it's just easier to give others love, but you know what, my friend? We deserve love too, and not just from other people, but from ourselves, and most importantly, from the divine. So I just want you to close your eyes and drop into your heart space. Feel your heart as this beautiful, massive canyon. It's almost the scale of the Grand Canyon, if you will. Or think of your favorite outdoor place that has like that's an enclosure, or maybe like a large clearing in the woods or something. It has this vastness to it. And as we sit in this vastness and we just witness and observe it, we can have lots of different feelings as we connect with this. The vastness of a canyon, or even looking up at the stars and feeling our presence in the universe, it can often make us feel really small and lonely. But then when we realize that we're all connected to all of that, and when we feel into it, like if we're feeling into how, as we walk through the canyon, we're really part and parcel of it. We're part of how the water moves through the canyon, and how the vegetation grows, and all the critters and animals that are there as it's teeming with life. And they may be hidden and they may be hiding, but you can sense them, you can feel them as you walk through this canyon. And this is your heart space, my friend. It's almost like when you move to a new home, we're so busy with unpacking all of our stuff that We forget to sort of walk through with that sense of mystery and curiosity and be like, this is my new living room and this is my new kitchen. Yes, it's easier to love all of you. Yeah. So, my friends, if you want to support Gary, cross your hands on your heart chakra. And I want to invite you deliberately not to send him energy, but just to hold the feeling of love within you. Gary, I know how much you love the love bomb. Tell me why you love the love bomb. Why do you love the love bomb exercise? It's how you would like to feel. Clarify more. Explain more, my friend. I agree. It's how I want to feel as well. Hmm. Thank you, Kim, for sharing that beautiful description and your heart. But my friend, then you are dependent on the outside information and stimulus, which is equivalent to giving your power away. Let's go on a journey, my friend. Close your eyes. And if you want me to go with you, I will walk with you. But let's picture you standing in this beautiful canyon of your heart space. And as we walk, I want you to look for any of the signs of life in the canyon that bring you joy. Simple joy, pure joy, just like in the love bomb, but I'm wanting you to look in the canyon and begin to list those off, my friend. As I'm walking, this canyon, this is from the southwest for me. It's a bit arid. Colors are amazing. The ruddy reds and the sandy brownish yellow colors. And every time I pass a little flower, there's a little splurt of color. There's a beautiful green to it or a blue quality from the petals. And they're bursting and brimming with life amid this arid background. No, Gary, it's just you and me right now. This is important. I know it's scary, but you can do this. We all believe in you. We're here with you, but not with you on the journey per se. This is all for you. What are you seeing as you walk through the canyon, my friend? Tell us what you see and look for the things that bring you joy, the things that you deeply appreciate as you pass them by, whether they're little animals or plants or the colors in the sky. Drink them into your very essence, my friend. Allow them to inspire your heart. Hello, Carolina. Feel your resistance, Gary. I don't know what you're scared of finding and seeing, but everybody here who knows you knows how beautiful you are. They know how wonderful you are. We all want you to believe it for yourself, but no amount of us saying it is going to shift that for you. You have to really feel it. You have to make that connection for yourself inside of yourself. A small stream trickling down the middle. I love that. What color is the stream? How quickly is it moving? Are there bubbles in the water as it moves? Does it gurgle? What sound does it make? Pay close attention to that, my friend. Look for the subtleties, the beauty in the subtleties. And remember to breathe. You're looking for evidence of the divine in your heart, my friend. You're looking for the evidence of your very life force flowing through you. Oh, we come into the world so innocent and so pure. We're so perfectly connected with the divine. And then through experiences with family, friends, and culture, we get given all these messages. And then as adults, as we grow spiritually, it's a whole process of sifting and sorting through those and choosing which ones we want to keep and which ones we want to let go of. It's clear, cold, and about 2 feet deep. That is very precise description. I like that. I don't know why, but something's saying hop in. Hop in, take a bath, fully clothed, jump in. It's warm out. You'll dry off the minute you get out. Hmm. Hmm. Bright pink flowers growing between the rocks. That's beautiful. Harry, take a moment and reach your mind's eyes, arms, your arms up with your mind's eye, and reach them up to your throat, my friend. I want you to extend a loving invitation to that small little whimpering voice in your throat. I have an instinct as to what it is. It is something very deep within you. Just reach your hand up and watch as that little whimpering, crying voice, it's kind of got a round shaped head, sort of. Watch as it sort of lazily and tiredly drags itself onto your hand, and then bring it down to where you are in the canyon, my friend, and rest it on the path there next to you. And hold your hand out to it. Hold your hand out to it, my friend, inviting it to take your hand. And it's very timid. It looks very feeble, but it's not weak. It's tired and it's scared. and just look down at it and say, it's okay. I've got you. You'll be safe. And you realize that what it wants is it wants to ride on your back or in your arms. Pick which one seems to work for you, and just lovingly pick it up and place it on your back, maybe on your shoulders. He hopped into your lap. Okay. I was assuming we were still walking. I didn't realize you said, so we can work with that. That's perfect. We're going with the flow today anyways, right? You said wing it, so we're winging it. Gary, this little voice, what's coming through to me is, and this is sad, but it's beautiful. So it's been sitting in your throat, my friend. And what it's crying about isn't the loss of other people. It's been sort of crying lightly and gently and sort of whimpering under its breath. And it's been saying, why won't anybody love me? Why doesn't anybody love me? It's not an animal necessarily. It could be for him, but the energy that I'm feeling is just, I mean, literally, I'm feeling it's a piece of him, Kim. How it represents for him, feeling wise, is very personal, and I try not to dictate that unless something really clear comes through. Gary, I just really want you to be with whatever this is that hopped in your lap. Yeah, you've been worried about the loss of parts of you. Gary, I really want you to hold and embrace this little voice that jumped on your lap. It's this part of you that doesn't feel loved and is waiting for everyone else to feel loved. And all it really wants is your love, my friend. And so in here, you can use your strength of loving others, your ease and strength and beauty of loving others, to love an other, which happens to be part of you. Without judgment, without fear, without story, this is a part of you that you've tucked away. I don't know why you've tucked it away in your throat chakra and in the energy there, but it's been sitting there a long, long time. And it just wants you to see it the same way that you saw the creek running through the canyon and the bright pink flowers growing between the rocks. It wants you to acknowledge it and accept it and allow it into your life. And I encourage you to give it a big hug and hold it close, my friend. This is a lost part of yourself that you've tucked away for safekeeping. It's relaxing in your arms because it feels safe with you. It feels safe with adult Gary on a spiritual path. It knows that it will be okay with you. What do you want to say to this little part of you? And we don't need to label it or identify it in any further way. He's giggling. Well, yeah, because he's found you. You guys are buddies. You found him. You guys are buddies. You're giggling. I love that. I've been saying a lot lately how I'm really keen on this notion that we don't tuck away these parts of ourselves out of pain. Yes, at the moment of the experience in which we might have done the tucking away, it might have been a painful experience. But I'm really believing lately, I don't know where this idea comes from, mostly my own experiences, but I'm really believing that there is some divine guidance in us in those moments that we tuck away these pieces of ourselves. And I really love the wording, how we tuck them away for safekeeping. For safekeeping, my friends, not for suffering and for struggling. We tuck them away for safekeeping so that when we're older, wiser, and more grown spiritually, we can then find them again and acknowledge them and maybe reintegrate them or not. Like there's no real goal. They just want to be seen and rediscovered, you know? And they're there in their beauty and in their glory with something to say or something to feel, you know? And so these journeys that we go on here in ChakraTouch, when we meet our little tucked away parts of ourselves, it's so moving to me because, you know, it's part of life. It's part of some sort of bigger picture, you know, where at some moment in our youth or in even in our adulthood, we tucked something away because we weren't ready at that moment, you know, but we're ready now. When we meet them, we're ready now. And then we have pure choice and pure power to be with those parts, you know. Thank you, Gary. Beautiful journey. I sense that there's a lot more to unpack there, but we'll stop at that for now as long as you're feeling complete. Oh, ah. Self-love is my biggest weakness, Gary says. When I start gaining self-trust, I'll be ready to conquer the world. Well, guess what, my friend? You can reframe even that statement. You see it as a weakness, therefore you're in the duality. Okay? You're in the duality, and when you see it as a weakness, that means in our minds, it tends to mean I'm broken, I need fixing. You're not broken, my friend. You have shown time and time again in every life I've ever been with you how much you can love. So your love muscle is super freaking strong. It's not a weakness. You're probably just scared to direct it at yourself because you don't know what you'll find. And that just came through. And that's okay, my friend. That's okay. On the spiritual path, we learn to have compassion for ourselves in all our parts. And that's another reason why loving allowance is amazing. Loving allowance for all things. That all means everything. Everything. What we think is good and what we think is bad. Everything that's neutral. Everything that comes to us. Everything that happens. Loving allowance for all things to be in their own time and place. Your journey to your heart is your big path right now. Right, Pinky. Kiana concurs. Sunbeams streaking white clouds across the sky. Wow, Kim, that's awesome. Oh, Gary, you did this because you're courageous, my friend. You may not think that, but I want you to own it as best you can in the moment. I love this for you. I love this revelation and realization, and I love the journey that you're on. And thank you for allowing me to witness it. I am super honored, and I love your vulnerability. Are you complete, my friend? I sense it is time to move on. You do feel lighter. Wonderful. I love that for you. All right, we're spinning again, everybody. Spin, spin, spin. Who's number one? We're all number one. But Melinda was number one on the list. Melinda, how can I be of assistance, my friend? As she's typing, I just want to remind you guys, I do have lives on Sundays now. This next one, this coming Sunday, is my birthday edition. I don't know that I'm going to do anything special or different, except I'm hoping to have a birthday virtual background. But I invite you all to come celebrate my birthday by creating a space of love like we always do in every live. And we'll see what journeys people go on then. Yeah, Sundays are fun. You know, there's two reasons I did it. First, I asked people if they wanted a third one, and they said yes. And I've been feeling like I want to do a third one, but also for myself personally, I kind of wrap up working kind of Fridays and Saturdays, and I felt like a sort of a spiritual disconnect, like, and I needed, like, even though I attend lives during my weekend, I needed something sort of like, my weekend is not quite Saturday, it's sort of like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But anyways, I needed something to sort of like keep the community connection going. And so I picked Sundays for a third live. Oh, Melinda. Yeah. Well, keep it simple, my friend. You can ask a simple question. You can state a simple topic. You can have me pick a chakra. You can say mental, physical, emotional. Just keep it simple. Also, if you haven't joined our Circle of Love, which is the group I have on Insight Timer, you are welcome to join us. It's a sweet little group and we share every once in a while. I also encourage anyone who hasn't followed me, if you are enjoying ChakraTouch Live, if you're enjoying this session today and you're new, please do follow. You'll get notified of my future lives, which are usually Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Oh, Gary. Melinda says, I feel as if I've been really started to wake up more. Okay. Having lots of feelings, vibrations while meditating, much more than I used to. Something I think is internal or my guides. Well, it could be anything. I actually really love this for you, Melinda. So that brings to mind a story about my meditating. And then I'll share that and then we'll check in on your chakras for you. So I can't remember when this started, but there was a point, I've been meditating for over 35 years. There were some periods where I just stopped meditating. I did some other things, but I've always come back to meditation. And in the last 12 years, it's been practically daily for me and super important part of my life and my lifestyle and my values. There was a point at which I started to shake during meditations. Um, the best way to describe it, and this still happens, was that would feel this wave of energy, and sometimes it felt like lightning, but a wave of energy rushing down my right arm. And it would literally like go from here, from the neck sort of area or from the shoulder, and just sort of like go, and my arm would wiggle and jiggle and at first I was like, wow, that is really weird and really uncomfortable. Um, and then I realized, oh, there's just like, I'm becoming so sensitive energetically that I can feel the waves of the energy moving through my body. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if what it means, but I'm just going to let it happen. And so then these days now, when it happens, it's kind of like my body does a little dance for a moment, and then I can feel I actually feel the enjoyment of it. It's actually really enjoyable. So you may be no, I'm not super experienced with what I'm about to say, but it is coming through as a possible message. Your energy body, or what sometimes they call it your subtle body or whatever, but your energy body actually might be going through a transformation. And so that may be why you're feeling the vibrations a lot more. I don't know if that resonates or makes any sense, but let's see. Pick a chakra, Melinda. Where do you want me to focus? Hmm. I'm feeling your lower parts, your belly, possibly. Wow, there's a lot of energy down in your belly area. I think I'm being called to isolate it further, identify it with a specific chakra. I'm not getting any visuals yet, but I'm getting a massive amount of energy in your belly. Like, I mean, kind of just feels like the sun. And from that perspective, I'm thinking third chakra, solar plexus. So, Melinda, take your left hand. I don't know if you know where your solar plexus is. I'll stand momentarily to show you. But so here's my belly button. You want to have your pinky finger on the belly and place your hand here. So solar plexus is right about there. And then place the other hand right on top of it. Okay, my dear. So we'll do that. And if anybody else has been, hold on, something's coming through. If anybody else has been feeling powerless, I encourage you to do this hand placement as well. And if anyone is feeling powerful in this moment and wanting to support, you can also do that hand placement. I have no idea what we're about to do, but I'm really, really feeling called to invite everybody into it for some reason. And we'll find out. All right, Melinda. Ooh, it's vibrant. Right. Yeah, I'm literally like, I feel like I'm like staring at the sun. Melinda, what are you feeling right now while you focus on your third chakra? Let's all bring our attention to the spot where your hands are touching that part of your body. Wow, I'm having a lot of gastral release. Interesting. Just focus your mind's eye where your hands are touching your solar plexus. I want you to reach in deep into that spot and sense and feel for any heat or any light. Okay. You don't have to visualize, my dear. You're kind of swirling inside. Okay. All right. Ah, so let's all picture or feel, whichever one works best for you in this moment. Just picture or feel the sun in that area of your body. It's bright, it's beautiful, it's warm, it's powerful, it's big, it's filling the entirety of that space. And feel into it, feel all the impulses and the energy associated with that. The sun is so warm and hot and volatile, and the sun bursts come off of it, the solar flares. It is almost too much to bear, but you can bear it. And as we feel all of this energy, just zoom the camera out a smidge at a time. Just incrementally zoom it so that the scope and the view gets a little bigger. Not the size of the sun is actually shrinking in size as you zoom out. And try to stay connected to that sense of light and that sense of heat. Keep your focus of your mind's eye on the sun, but keep a peripheral vision and a peripheral sense open. And as you zoom out, slowly but gradually, further and further, you begin to see the planets. You begin to see Mercury pass by and Venus. And you zoom out a little further and you see the Earth and the moon circling around it. And you can still see and feel the sun. It's becoming smaller and smaller, but you can feel how powerful it is even at this distance, and how it is sending light throughout the solar system. And as you back out and zoom out even further, you begin to see the wisps of the Milky Way and the solar system that we are in. Okay, Melinda, just go with it. There's no right or wrong, okay? Just go with the flow. And you may not be very visual at this moment, and that's fine. You could just be with your feelings. I'm not always very visual either. In fact, I'm usually more visual during ChakraTouch than any other time in my life, which is weird. But just, I want you to continue to zoom out bit by bit, continue to be aware of our sun until you get to zoomed out and you can see the spiral of our solar system, and the millions of stars, and the beauty of how that spiral is moving. And I want you to just be present, Melinda. Be present with this vibrating, swirling sensation in your whole body. You are safe and you are secure here with us during the live and in your home right now. The energy is so potent, it feels like the entire solar system, or the whole, maybe even the whole galaxy, is swirling inside of you. And this wouldn't necessarily be incorrect. I think what's going on, Melinda, is that you're having a shift in your awareness of yourself as a spiritual being, as being connected to the energy of all things. That's really the message that I'm getting. You are having a very physical, visceral experience of you as an energetic being, of your very spirit, your power as a spiritual being in a human body. Does that resonate? Tell me how you're doing and what you're experiencing right now. Ooh, I'm getting warm with all that sunshine. Mm. 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 Let it out, my friend. Let the sobs come. You know, I remember sitting with my first main spiritual teacher. When I was 29, there were several hundreds of us that would sit with him, and he taught us a lot about Tibetan Buddhism and Zen. The biggest thing that I really loved and enjoyed was the experience of his energy and the energy while we were meditating. And this happened so frequently. I would be sitting in the hall meditating with these 200 people and with him on the stage, and I could feel my body getting blown to bits. Like I felt like I was exploding out into the everything and then being reassembled again, and like being exploded into just microcosmic little bits of myself, and all energy and just exploding out and then instantly reforming again, but being put into a different energetic configuration. And I could really feel like I've just felt like he was like bursting me open and then reassembling me, and that each time was like a shift, and I was making these energetic shifts, and it was scary at first, but when I really just sort of relaxed into it and sort of rode the wave, it was beautiful and it was profound and it was really, really very moving. And there's so little we know about ourselves on an energetic level. I mean, people are studying it in lots of different ways, and we've had the chakra system, you know in in our world for many, 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 many years, centuries really, because they come from ancient Indian times and Hinduism and Buddhist times, and like, and yet in our waking life, we're just sometimes we're just scratching the surface of that. And I mean, that's how I feel with ChakraTouch. I've often felt my the chakras in my hands like starting to tingle in ways, and I don't know what it means. But I felt like that was opening and helping me grow, as a practitioner of this wonderful thing. Yeah. Melinda says, I definitely feel that swirling in my body. And when you described the cosmos, it described what I've been feeling, the swirling, vibrating. Yeah. It's the galaxy, it's the whole universe. You're experiencing that on an energetic level. I mean, I can't guarantee that, but that's kind of my theory of what you're experiencing. She also says, it also made me think of how I always look into the night sky and feel that my late husband is looking back at me. Oh, his name was Greg. Oh, there's not a lot of Gregs I've met in the world, so I'm honored to meet him through you. Hmm. Oh, I love that for you, Melinda. He passed almost 22 years ago, the most amazing human. Oh, let's all just send out an energetic hug to Greg, Melinda's ex-husband, and to Melinda. Mm. Melinda, I sense you're at the beginning of a really incredible piece to your journey. Something more could be coming through or not. I think that the more that you can just allow it to be and allow it to unfold as an experience, right? Without judgment or story around it, it might be scary at times. It might cause tears. That's okay. Just let all that stuff be in the moment. And I'm really looking forward to hearing, what unfolds for you and what you discover on this journey. Reminds me of a Star Trek episode where you're welcome, dear. My pleasure to be of service to you. There's a Star Trek episode where um, an alien they meet asks for what do you call it? Sanctuary, for asylum. And it's from Star Trek Next Generation. So he asks for asylum, and he's being pursued by his own people. And apparently in their culture, when folks reached a certain age, they euthanized them. They killed them, basically. And that had been in their culture for centuries. And he didn't want to die. But he was having this weird experience physically, and so the Star Trek crew was like, trying to help him and analyze him and see, because because in their culture, they thought people were sick. This is fascinating when you think about the different perspectives. In their culture, they thought that at that age point, people were becoming sick, and therefore they killed them early so that they wouldn't have to suffer, right? But this guy had this intuitive knowing that something else was going on, but he didn't know what, right? And what happened is by the end of the episode, he turns into an energy, a pure energy being. His whole body had been experiencing like crazy vibrations and energy and stuff. And then he turns into this being of light, pure, perfect light, right? And that's when everybody in the episode suddenly realizes, and because the pursuers, the bounty hunters who were chasing him were like blown away. So all of these years, all these centuries, that alien culture had suppressed their own evolution, basically. And that was their destiny, to become these beings of light. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I want to be a being of light someday. That'd be so cool to be able to travel around energetically and not be restrained by the body. Now I actually like having a body, but that's when I was younger and didn't like having a body. Anywho, weird side story, but really telling when you think about perspective, right? And we can do that to ourselves. It doesn't necessarily have to be a cultural thing, right? But we can look at something and it's scary and it's unfamiliar, almost like when the Indians in the Americas saw the ships of the Spanish, galleons coming and landing. They didn't know what they were. They'd never seen, a large three-mast schooner with sails. They didn't know what it was. And so when we look at the unfamiliar and like that, we can be scared of it. We can be uncertain about it, whatever. And yet, who's to say it's not part of our evolution, right? It's pretty fascinating when you think about it that way. Kiana says, Melinda, I have chills right now learning about your husband. I love the energy you're sharing with us and the love you both have. And Melinda thanks you. You didn't see that one? Are you a Trekkie, Sherry? The Q continuum? No, it wasn't the Q, although they are quite interesting concept, aren't they? Anywho, Melinda, my dear, are you complete for now? Thank you for your openness and your willingness to go beyond, really, into what you experienced there. All right, good. All right, let's spin again, and then we'll do one last reading journey. Yes, it is iconic, isn't it? Yes, Melinda is beautiful. I agree. We are all beautiful. You guys are beautiful. I love having you here. I am like super overheated right now. Who was number 9? They're the new winner. Carol, are you still here? Carol's the new winner. Carol, you're here. Yay. Congratulations. How can I be of service to you? What guidance are you seeking? Be you to the full. I love that, Joanne. Will you post that to our circle of love? I kind of want to have a place to remember that. Be you to the full. I love that. Oh, Melinda, it's good. Good tears of release. I feel real good about that. All right, Carol. I have a feeling this is your first time. Oh, Samad, what does that mean? Salam alaikum. Did I say that right? It sounds cool, whatever it means. All righty, waiting for Carol to type her question, comment, or topic in. Peace upon you in Arabic. Wow, that's cool. Thank you for sharing that, Ahmad. Salam alaikum. Alaikum. Salam alaikum. Did I say that right? I'm trying to say it. I love pronouncing other languages. Peace upon you. Carol says, in a situation where I am not totally happy, but the responsible thing to do, can't decide whether I should do it again. Okay. Oh, I didn't quite. You're in a situation where you're not totally happy, but what you're currently doing is the responsible thing to do. Is that what you're saying, Carol? And what's the part about can't decide whether I should do it again? I need a clarification on that, please. If you are comfortable being more specific, that could be helpful about the situation that is. Are we talking relationship, finance, work? What's going on? Continue to do it even if unhappy. Ah, yes, we can stay general for that. Carol, are you sitting right now, my friend? Are you sitting in a chair? Hetty, I think you're right. You're in bed. Okay. Are you laying down? And tell me, are you, no. Describe your physical position for me, if you could, please. On your side, back, sitting up on your bed. Okay. Are your feet touching the floor? Can they touch the floor? Okay, no, you're on the bed. All right. So what I want you to do, my friend, is make sure that your legs aren't crossed. All right. So separate your legs and just let your feet dangle. And I want you to feel in, feel into the connection that your thighs and your buttocks are making to the bed. Okay. Ooh, that warm. So feel deeply into how the body is touching those areas of the bed, or those areas of your body are touching the bed. Okay. And I want you to move your mind's eye down into your belly and feel the solidity of your bed. Sense into how the four corners, the legs of your bed, are connecting with the floor. And how they create the frame that holds up the mattress or the box spring and mattress. And really reach in and take solace in the fact that this bed, every night, safely holds your pillows, your sheets, your blankets, or if you use comforters or duvets, and safely holds you as you sleep every night. Place your left hand on your belly. Carol, you want to have your left thumb on your belly button, like this is your belly button, and then your fingers below the belly button, and then place your right hand over that. Let's take a look at your belly. Feeling very grounded to me. How are you feeling right now, Carol? I'm going to check elsewhere while you tap into that. Just okay. All righty. I'm getting a lot of messages coming through at once, and there's a lot going on in you energetically, Carol. I'm having trouble sort of focusing in on one thing. So I'll just start with the messages that I'm getting. The first thing that's coming through, my friend, is that happiness is a choice. And I'm sensing that and I'm not attached to being right or wrong about this, but I'm sensing that there might be a story going on inside you about this situation in which the result of the story, you know, is unhappiness. Now, there may be some very real things happening that you're not satisfied with, where you don't feel fulfilled, and so that can be very, very real. But we don't want to be, well, it's not so much don't want to be. Hmm. The softer way to say it is, our guidance is encouraging us to make make our happiness dependent on what we want and what we want to see, rather than on maybe on our scenarios and our situations. Does that make any sense to you? Is that resonating in any way? Please let me know. And the other big message that's coming through is that, um, because like my apologies, although I don't really have anything to apologize. Let me just explain what's going on. So I'm sensing a lot of energy in your mind space. Your belly is feeling nice and grounded to me. So that's really good. For now, like in terms of the energy is feeling like flowing and kind of, where we're hoping to have it in the belly. And then the heart, I just feel a lot of tumultuousness. And at this point in the live, I don't have enough time to unpack all of this with you, but the messages are still coming through. So I'm just sort of flowing with those, and they're coming through in bits. So the biggest pieces, the other, yeah, okay. So okay. So you're saying you have certain expectations that other people can't seem to meet. All right. So there's a lot of dynamics going on here. And like I said, we don't have time to unpack this. So I'm gonna lay them on you, and then we'll see where that goes. So, and you can offer any more insight as it goes, because as chakra touch happens, a lot of times feelings, sensations, insights, thoughts, whatever, they come up, and I'm always encouraging people to share them as they occur. So I'm going to try and distill this though. You're giving your power away by making your happiness dependent on other people, on what they do, say, or on what you expect of them. And therefore, you're unhappy. So the interesting part about that dynamic is that there's no solution for happiness as long as you are giving your power away. Hopefully that makes sense. The flip side of that, which is where we do have power, is in our power of choice and viewpoint, or our perspective, basically. So the flip side of all of that is that you have the power to look at anything in life, whether it's that situation or an outside situation, and generate, because our feelings come from our thoughts, and we have the ability to feel however we want to feel in any moment, simply by, working with our focus, right? Allowing the mind to be a tool and not the master. Allowing the heart to teach the mind is another thing we often say a lot in my lives. But when we use the mind in this way towards our health and our happiness and our well-being, then we begin to see that it's possible to feel good, aka happy, without needing the scenarios, conditions, and situations outside of us to change. This is a huge spiritual understanding and a shift for a lot of people. It is not easy, but I'm going to tell you a story about how I learned this. So in the end of 2008, I was in a complete financial collapse. I had woken up in October of 2008, and normally I had been a very successful technology consultant, basically going from gig to gig, project to project, anywhere between 2 days and 2 weeks in between, which felt just right for me. But that morning in October of 2008, I woke up, and what I used to do is I'd wake up, and then the start of the next week after finishing a project, I'd say to myself, all right, that's done. What do I want to do next? And I'd call my recruiters and I'd start getting everything rolling. That morning I woke up and I said, what do I want to do next? That's done. And I didn't have an answer. All I knew was, I don't know, but I don't want to keep doing this. And of course, there's a bigger picture to all that. I was juggling so many balls financially that the stress level was beyond tolerable. And I was falling apart at the seams. And that's even after 20 plus years of spiritual growth. And I was really in this moment. And so 2 months went by and I was served an eviction notice. Trust me, there's a point to this story, so stay with me for a moment. Um, Hi, Yvonne. Nice to see you. Yeah, so two months later, I was served an eviction notice. I negotiated to be able to leave at the end of December of 2008, and I began the process of selling everything I own and putting it in my car. My car at the time was a Mini Cooper convertible. If you've never seen one, go look it up. It's tiny, and I'm 6'2". Anywho, as I was going in this journey, I decided that I wasn't going to try to force myself into finding a job in order to keep the money going, in order to keep the apartment, in order to keep everything status quo. And I launched myself into this crazy adventure of uncertainty, of house hopping between friends' houses, house sitting, doing whatever I could to find a place to sleep. Well, wow, this is interesting. I'm telling this story. Holy smokes, this totally relates to today. So tomorrow, February 22nd in 2009, somebody do the quick math for me. I can't, was that 15 years? So 2009, February 22nd, I hadn't secured a place to stay. I'd been going from friends to friends for a month and a half, and I decided that I would sleep in my car. And fortunately, I was living in Los Angeles, and it's nice in February. And so I parked I parked my car and at a quiet spot in Malibu. Sounds lovely, but sleeping in your car not so lovely. And I began to get ready to go to sleep, and I found myself in the car having a panic attack. And I'd been studying Abraham Hicks and Law of Attraction for about a couple years prior to that. And I was sitting there dumping on myself. Oh my God, Greg, look how low you stooped. Like, how have you gotten to this point? Look at everything you've lost. Why are you doing this? Why are you even sleeping in your car? Why aren't you just going and getting a job? And all these things in my head. And I knew that I would never get to sleep. And when you're sleeping in your car, first light wakes you up because it just comes through the windows and you wake up. And it was getting late. And I knew that I needed sleep to be well. And so I began to try and calm myself down by looking for something, a thought, even a simple little thought of something that I appreciated, something that I could love in that moment. And I couldn't find anything for about an hour. And suddenly I realized, well, gosh, if I want anything, everything I own is right here in the car. All I got to do is roll over and reach in the back seat and pull it out. And a little part of me giggled because it was such a silly, ridiculous thought. And yet it brought me some peace and consolation that I don't know why, but it gave me a sense of a little bit of relief, knowing that everything that I owned was in reachable by arm's reach in my car, right? And then I began to realize how great it was to have that sleeping bag that I'd bought for 30 bucks the month before, and how comfortable my pillows felt. And I was glad that I hadn't thrown them out and I kept them with me. And I began to do what's called a rampage of appreciation. And it's hard to get there sometimes. But eventually what happened was, next thing I know, I woke up in the morning and I felt okay. That happened for 3 nights. And it was crazy. And then on my birthday, which is this coming Sunday, on my birthday in 2009, a friend let me stay at her house overnight just so that I could feel a little bit more safe and secure. And then I continued on with this journey of sleeping and living in my car for a few months. But those first 3 nights were an absolute panic, and I was scared out of my mind. But eventually, I started to see it as an adventure. And so I tell that story because we can use our powerful minds to find something better feeling to focus on, right? And we can use that as a catalyst. And so you may be unfulfilled and unhappy with this job or this situation, Carol. I don't know what it was. I assumed a job, sorry. But you have the ability to connect with the divine and ask for the universe for how you want to feel. And I can't go into this much further right now, but I want to encourage you to look on my Instagram or my YouTube. Go onto my Insight Timer teacher's profile, look in the About section, and look for my Linktree link. Okay, Carol? And on my YouTube and my Instagram, I put a beautiful brief video that's all about this, about how the universe works best with us when we ask for how we're wanting to feel rather than for specifics. Okay. Um, yeah. And that's the other big message is that I feel like in this situation, your word, and we'll work with that, this situation, you're forgetting that the divine is always with you and that you have the ability to open or close that connection. It's never really closed. It's all because you're part of the divine. You're love. I'm love. Gary's love. Kiana's love. Everybody here is love. We're all part of love. We're all part of the universal oneness and of the divine. And it's just easy in our lives, particularly when we get unhappy with a person, place, or thing, to forget that the divine's got our back and that it's always there and available for us, but we have to reach out to it. It takes our initiative and our remembering, which 90% of the time I feel like the spiritual journey is one of just remembering the divine is there, right? And accepting and allowing in the reminders from the divine. That's most of what I've done for 30 plus years as a spiritual seeker, right? So yeah, and it's easy to forget. And here's the other beautiful thing, Carol, don't beat yourself up, my friend. Don't beat yourself up for this situation you're in. Don't add suffering and more judgment and stories to it, right? Try to view it simply as it is and let it be what it is, because yeah, maybe it doesn't work for you right now, but the more you can ask the universe for how you're wanting to feel, and the more you can practice looking for evidence of things that feel good to you, even it doesn't have to be feel loving, but it could just feel good, like a little bit of satisfaction or a little bit of joy or a little bit of hope. And you can just catch a whiff of it, my friend. The more you can practice to do that, the more you're going to start, and this is true for all of us, the more you're going to start to see that there is a lot of wonderful, beautiful things that you didn't even notice before. And you might actually find that you make the shift vibrationally without the situation changing at all. And here's the beautiful part, in my experience, when we make the shift internally, and when we begin to actually practice intentionally searching for things that feel good for us, then the stuff starts to change around us without us having to manipulate or do anything other than using that beautiful tool of the mind and allowing the heart to teach the mind, right? Heart, teach my mind. And that is something when you're feeling bad about this situation, Carol, you can use that as well. So yeah, there you go. I want to make this shift. Fantastic. This is something that I mean, I would love to work with you more on it. I'm sorry we don't have more time, but if you're interested, please reach out to me. There's some beautiful work. This is a beautiful journey to do that. But also, I believe in you. I believe you have the capability to do this on your own. But please check out that video I have. Also, if you're new to me, definitely follow and please check out, not please, I don't know. I'm inviting you to check out my Love Bomb Heart Chakra meditation. This is exactly what I'm talking about how to use the mind in a way that helps us feel better, even incrementally. And as Gary and others can attest to, the Love Bomb is a powerful tool. It's really beautiful. And it'll make you realize how much about life is actually really wonderful, you know? And even like, even in the case of when I was sleeping in my car, that was a mini love bomb. I was appreciating my pillows. Don't dismiss appreciating anything, my friends. It could be as simple as pillows or a burrito or your favorite warm drink or your favorite television show. Like, nothing is insignificant to the divine. It's all part of the divine. So it's all beautiful. But we're the ones who have to practice seeing it as beautiful. And that's not easy, but it's not impossible. Anyways, oof. I think I was channeling there because I suddenly felt like something went clicked and I was done. Yeah, so I'm sure I was channeling. Anyways, Carol, how are you feeling? Are you complete for now? There's a lot to unpack here, so be patient with yourself, be loving with yourself, and just let the journey unfold. What have you guys been saying while I was stream of consciousness here? Gary says I deserve a love bomb today. Yeah, I don't have time for it anymore though. Um, Yvonne says, glad to join while on a short lunch and actually be able to reply and pay attention. Yeah, that must be nice, Yvonne. It's always good to see you and have you here. Carol says, I love that to connect to the universe. Christina acknowledges some beautiful advice. I agree with all this. I do forget this frequently, Carol says. Joanne, oh my, I needed to hear that. My life is a struggle at the moment, and that is good to remember to grab a tiny bit of hope. Yeah, you're welcome, Carol. I'm glad you're feeling better. Oh, good, Yvonne. Nice to hear that that resonates. My friends, we're going to wrap up with my favorite thing ever, the circle of love. So I'm going to encourage you all to just close your eyes wherever you're sitting, standing, walking, moving, whatever you're doing. Take a brief moment, close your eyes. Don't worry about what anyone thinks. If you hide in in a corner if you need to, if somebody's going to see you, and just place your hands lovingly on your heart chakra and move your mind to that spot where your hands are lovingly resting on your heart. And with your mind's eye, reach your hands inward, reaching for the very center of your heart space. Picture your heart there in whatever way you want it to appear. And reach your hands forward and lovingly scoop your heart up into your hands and hold it with such tenderness and appreciation. And just be the observer and witness of your beautiful heart, your connection to love of yourself and others, your connection to the divine. And as you're watching and witnessing your beautiful heart, allow to come to mind a person, place, or thing that you absolutely love. You love it 100%, 150, 200%, whatever it is, person, place, or thing. Hold them in your mind's eye and hold them in your heart. And it's a pure, absolute love. There's no stories, there's no judgment, there's no analysis, there's no expectations. It's just absolutely pure and deep. And feel that love as it begins to shine in your heart. That love is not dependent on this person, place, or thing. This love is not dependent on situations or circumstances or scenarios. This is you, your true nature, your love muscle, if you will, your heart practicing exactly what it is meant for, to love. And as you feel that energy filling your heart and expanding outwards into the entirety of your heart space, allow that love to inform your whole being. Feel it in your arms, in your fingers, in your toes, in your legs. Feel it tingle in your ears and fill your headspace. Feel it extend outward from you as you shine and glow. And gently reach out, leaving your left hand on your heart. And reach out your right hand, palm extended forward, and place your hand on the back of someone else's heart here in our group, our 88 meditators. And watch as an energetic circle of love forms of all of us making this beautiful circle, reaching out to touch the back of another. You don't have to send them any energy. You just hold that love in your heart. Because as you hold the space of love, you automatically vibrate and your vibration ripples out to others without even needing to send it anywhere. Because we are all love. And just bask in the beauty of this energetic circle of love that we're making. Feel the joy and the blessing of our connectedness. And how special it is to love, to just love. For no reason, to just love. And you can focus this love in whatever way you want. You can keep it inside yourself and vibrate. You can share it with another at times in your life. You can share it with yourself. You can focus it on the parts that you've tucked away, that you've stored away for safekeeping, for future discovery. Whatever, you can share it with a pet or a loved one, or just while you're doing something that you love. Bring your hands together in prayer and thanks. And gently and deeply bow either in your mind or physically. And thanks to all of us here, and most importantly, to yourself for being on the spiritual path and for seeking love. Slowly and gently come back to the moment, come back to the now, gently opening your eyes. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here today, for helping create our circle of love, for being you. I love Insight Timer. I love everybody on it. I love how we show up for one another in loving support and how courageous and vulnerable all of you are. It's not easy to go on an energetic journey or have a reading, but you have a depth and a willingness and a vulnerability and a courage. You all have it. And I love seeing it. So thank you for allowing me to witness it. It's an honor to be of guidance to you. And I will see you all or whoever on Friday. I don't have any more news or information other than be well tonight. Melinda says, thank you again so much, Craig. I may say I was definitely nervous about what would happen when I got picked today, but I'm so very grateful. You're welcome, Melinda. You in particular today had a lot of courage because you were very nervous, but that's okay. The flip side of the coin of nervousness is excitement. So chew on that for a moment. You were probably just as excited as you were nervous. Anywho, my friends, thanks again for being here. I am going to go to the grocery store now and get some delicious, beautiful food for my refrigerator. I will leave you here with this. I'm assuming this is from Tenerife. Oh, I cut out? Oh, I'm just saying you were courageous because the flip side of nervousness was excitement. So you were probably excited too. I don't know if you heard that part. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go grocery shopping and then have supper and have a fun evening. So I love you all. God bless. Good luck. Peace to you. How did you say it, Ahmad? Would you say that again if you're still here? Where was that? It was really awesome statement. In Arabic. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Yes. Awesome. Okay, my friends. Be well. We'll see you soon, either in my live or somebody else's. Have a great evening or morning or day or whatever. Be well and treat yourselves good. Bye-bye.